everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. I'm your host, Michael Tabor. So let me just say this. You can only manage something if you can measure it. Yep. Ain't that the truth? So, by the way, I just picked this up not too long ago, a couple of months ago. The story mathematics, and you see this bargain here from Barnes and Noble. The first thing I do when I go to a Barnes and Noble, by the way, I'm a used bookstore guy, so that's my favorite place. But if I go to a chain store, Barnes and Noble, by the way, I used to love Borders. They went under years ago. But anyway, the first place I go is, of course, the bargain books. They're there, right? And this is just like kind of not a big book. But her name is Anne Rooney. Of course, no one has ever heard of her. And this is a fun little book. I just started diving into this and the story of mathematics, right? Here's the beginning first chapter. I said you can only manage what you can measure. It's so true. So the question is, and this is a philosophical question, is math, is it even real? Is it just a human construct, right? So it says here, before we could have mathematics, we needed numbers, right? So our numbers, so the point is, as we go on, philosophers have argued for years about the status of numbers, about whether they have any real existence outside human culture, right? So just as they argue about whether mathematics is invented or discovered. For example, is there a sense in which the area of a rectangle is the multiple of two sides, which is true independent of the activity of mathematicians, right? So a rectangle, does it exist independently? So it's a great philosophical question, does it? So let me try to imagine, let's say time, right? And actually in the next chapter, like we didn't have like a clock. We didn't have a minute hand, and I didn't know this until the minute hand was added in 1475, right? So we had like a sundial. It was just the hours, right? 1475 was the minute hand. And then 1560, we added the second hand. So leading back to what is, I don't know how this has anything to do with measuring, with managing to measure. Well, let's talk about anything. We're talking about not just seconds, but milliseconds, right? So you can measure this. You can only manage what you can measure. Now try to think about all the things that are they discovered or do we invent them? This is deep stuff. All right, I'll leave it at that. Invented or discovered, mathematics, or anything in life, right? Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience, peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk.